College athletics officially entered the brand new world of revenue sharing, where colleges and universities will now directly pay their athletes. The Drake Bulldogs decided they're opting into this new era.
So what does it mean for the teams and fans? What sports will be seeing the bulk of this money, or which sports will be seeing the bulk of the money in this new path forward? KCCI's Jeff Dubroff talked to Drake Athletic Director Brian Harden to find out.
Drake's choice to opt in really hinged on one term: grandfathering.
Once that was introduced, then that's what we needed to kind of push us over the finish line.
But what exactly does that mean? As part of the House versus NCAA settlement, schools are now required to cut down their rosters in every sport to a certain number. This would mean cutting players. The grandfathering piece now allows students who would have been cut to remain on the roster as designated student athletes until they graduate.
Once the grandfathering piece was approved, then it became, okay, why wouldn't we do this?
So Drake is in, but challenges of course remain as they try to raise money. The max schools can give in year one, $20.5 million. Drake doesn't intend to reach that number.
We're not in a space where we have to find $20.5 million for this next year. That's not who our peer group is.
Harden and his team have a goal.
Are you able to share that number?
Am I able to? Yes. Am I going to? No.
But Drake doesn't have the same benefit of other schools in the state like Iowa or Iowa State.
Other schools are in other conferences have the benefit of those incredible TV contracts. That's not a space that we find ourselves in the Missouri Valley Conference. Other schools have, they sell out 100,000 seat or 70,000 seat football stadiums. That's not a luxury that we're going to have here at Drake's.
But they are finding ways to increase revenue.
We adjusted some ticket prices for men's and women's basketball this year, only in sections that were, a 90% or greater sold out from a season ticket holder standpoint.
But ticket sales alone won't be enough. Drake is asking fans to donate to their newly introduced men's and women's basketball excellence funds.
It'll go towards whatever the greatest need is of that program.
It's those funds that will provide the biggest boon to the budget.
The dollars going to our student athletes for the shared revenue piece will be primarily driven this first year by the donations of our fans.
Drake has 15 sports on campus that are eligible for revenue sharing. But as of right now, only 2 will be the primary benefactors: men's and women's basketball.
Right now, as you see here today, it'd be 100% would go to basketball because we haven't had anyone else step forward to say, hey, we want to devote something else to some other sport.
Money will be given based on what the 2 programs are needing.
Myself and Coach Pullman, myself and Coach Henderson will sit down and we'll talk through, okay, what exactly do you, as you're projecting out to the next year, what will you need? So that we can make sure that we are able to provide the coaches with the tools they need to be successful.
Other sports can receive revenue sharing. However, it'll take the donor specifically saying so in their donation. But make no mistake, it is the money makers that are the priority.
Basketballs and the Drake Relays are the rising tide that lifts all of our boats here.
Where do you think Drake stacks up with its Valley peers in terms of this new era of college athletics?
I would say we're probably 3 or 4.
What does it say about Drake's commitment to athletics that you're opting in? Because here's Drake and they're saying, like, we want in, we want to be a part of this.
Yeah, I think that the message it should send is that Drake is one of those rare institutions where you can have it all. You have a tremendous academic institution, you're in this thriving community, and now you've got an athletics department that is committed to doing things the right way and to pursuing success in all that we do.
Jeff Dubroff, KCCI, Iowa Sports Leader.